I'm the chairwoman of that committee, Nancy Montgomery, and if you can all please rise for the pledge. Legislator Addonizio is going to lead us. Where'd it go?
Oh, I was looking there. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Could we have a roll call?
Legislator Addonizio.
Present.
Legislator Russo. Chairwoman Montgomery.
Here. The first item on the agenda is item number 3, a fund transfer for social services to move allocated Code Blue funds from miscellaneous to contracts. And we have Kristen Werner, the financial manager of the Department of Social Services. Is
Hi,
that the
good
right
evening.
title? It's a good
Fiscal
title,
manager,
right?
yes.
Yeah. And Sarah Servadio, our commissioner of social services. Thank you. So, item 3, fund transfer Code Blue. You can go for it if you want, or if you want me to. It moves some money around, basically, is what we're doing.
Yes, so we have 2 contracts with local agencies to support our warming center and outreach efforts for Code Blue. We receive an annual allocation from the Office of Temporary Disability and Assistance, and this is to maximize the allocation. So we had previously allocated funding to overtime and miscellaneous for outreach efforts that we currently did not use. So in order to maximize the funding that ends on June 30th, we're repurposing that to the contract line.
Great, thank you. So that's a total amount of $180,000 went to Brewster Cares, which is one of our providers,
Yes.
and $19,281 to CoveCare. So I would just ask you to explain the original budget allocation was insufficient. Are we seeing a higher utilization of the centers, of the shelters this season?
Yeah, we started off slow, but our nightly numbers are higher than average. About between 8 and 12 more individuals a night this year compared to years past.
And does the transfer reflect any ongoing funding trend we want to be ready for in 2027 as we enter budget season? Not yet, but we will be entering budget season very soon.
So we'll probably put a little bit of funding in there for the outreach efforts as the Code Blue season for 26-27 approaches. And then we can always shift that dependent on what the need is. We just want to make sure that we maximize our allocation, because if we don't, there is a chance that it will be at a lesser amount the next go around.
On the operations side, we will be discussing with the county executive and with the health committee regarding expanding the hours that the daytime warming shelter is open. So Brewster Cares is running it until 2 every day. We would like that gap of time between 2 and 9 o'clock at night to be covered, because individuals are having to leave there to go somewhere else until they come back for overnight shelter.
Thank you for that. Any questions from the committee?
I have a question. You mentioned from 2 to 9. Where would they go from 2 to 9 if they were homeless?
So people will go to the library, they will go to the laundromat, restaurants.
Somewhere it's indoor. And just so the public knows, Code Blue is for the temperature of, 32 degrees? 32 and under. And this year we've had very cold weather. So
It's been a brutal winter for
do you think that's why you have 8 to 12 more this year, or?
that coupled with just people are struggling and
Yeah,
losing housing, so
course.
we're going to be talking about some housing funds that we're moving to tonight, so.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the committee? Any questions from any legislator? Legislator Birmingham.
Not a question, but a comment through the chair. This is a vitally needed program. I know you guys have gone above and beyond in helping both agencies, CoveCare, but in my district, Brewster Cares is a vital organization that helps people with not only housing insecurity, but people who are homeless. And it wasn't that long ago, and I hate to think it'll happen again, that we had 2 or 3 residents of Putnam freeze in the woods about during my last 10 years as a county legislator. And this is a needed service, and thank you for, on behalf of the county, I know it's a lot of it's state money, but we know the state funds don't do everything, and I know your office does that. So thank you for that on behalf of some of my constituents. Thank you.
Anyone else? Legislator Goldman.
The increase in population, 8 to 12, do you have zip codes from where they're coming from?
No.
Any from the- or you don't have zip codes? With the increase, is there a need to do this on the west side of the county also? Or is this centralize it where you're centralizing it?
It's hard to say. That data isn't collected. And they're not forced to give it, but that is an interesting thought. I'm always going to say yes, as it relates to shelter for people. I can have a conversation with Brewster Cares and my housing staff and give you a better answer, but a
So
majority
People
of,
have to travel from, the west side to go there for 45 minutes to get there.
right,
There
No,
could be an
it's-
issue, so,
it absolutely could be.
thank you.
Legislator Crowley.
Thank you, Carolyn. So this is just gonna bounce off of Legislator Goldman, so to the zip code situation too. And I think if they're funding for emergency housing, we're looking at DSS needs, how they're paying this, so we should be able to find that fairly easily, correct? For their Putnam residents and or getting the other needs that come along with it, whether it's SNAP or.
Yes, of course that's
other
happening,
things.
yes.
So we should be able to track where they're coming from and.
For
when.
those people, yes, but not everybody is willing to give their information,
Do the best you can.
for many
Yeah,
fears,
no,
so.
just, yeah, I get it, I understand, I just, thinking long term,
Mhm.
we don't want homelessness, so we wanna move them into everything else, should be, we should look into see how we can assist them in getting back on their feet, but also job placement, things like that, and all those things that come along with it,
Yes.
and transportation.
I have a question related to Legislator Goldman. It may not be specific to Code Blue, but it's sheltering, homeless sheltering, unhoused. And generally from our side of the county, when people approach me, I generally recommend Jan Peak Square and Peekskill. We do have St. Christopher's Inn, which, you and I understand there's a situation with licensing there. Obviously, the consensus is there's not enough sheltering for folks who are unhoused. And as we look at the county, I know from, an infrastructure, the sheriff's department does it, we all try to take a regional approach and partner with neighboring counties. And I don't know if we do that. I know you work with Westchester Mental Health Associates, and can we start looking at this from a regional approach? My folks, it's not so convenient to come over here to Brewster Cares, but rather somewhere in Peekskill or Garrison.
So if they go into Westchester and utilize Jan Peak, it would have to be as a drop-in, because otherwise they would have to register through Westchester's DSS. So you can utilize the drop-in shelter for up to 29 nights.
Oh.
So it's not a longer-term solution unless, people literally need to relocate under a different county's DSS.
And longer term vision is eliminating that you have to register with Westchester County to get DSS, and maybe there could be a regional approach to this rather than just sticking to the counties. Because I don't think homelessness knows borders. Any other questions? Any questions from the public? Wonderful, thank you. Item number 4 we're on the agenda, which is a budget amendment for shelter arrears assistance. Basically adds $15,600 for the shelter arrears eviction program. Basically, this program, my understanding from the backup is it pays household overdue rent to prevent evictions. Do you have any more to add to that?
So, it's such a small amount. It's $15,600 that we get a year. We do as much with it as we can. Every year, we could help one or two people and families or multiple. It really depends on how much they need to come up to a zero balance with their landlord. And my office is also working with landlords on, if we do this, are they able to stay and remain in the apartment or home? This is just moving things around at this point. right?
Yes, so this first allocation came down for this program back in September of 2024, around $13,000. And we received notice at the beginning of January this year that they wanted to extend the program one additional year and add an additional $15,000 pot to the fund. So this is adding the allocation both on the revenue and the expense to the budget for zero fiscal impact.
Zero fiscal,
Yes.
all state aid.
Yes, from
Funding.
OTDI, yes.
So again, how many Putnam County households do we anticipate serving with this additional funding? This is additional funding, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
2,
I was gonna say.
3. I mean, it's,
Cover much.
Contingent on the need, I guess.
yeah, whatever we can do to save a living situation, we're doing it. So if we're not pulling it from this pot, we're trying to use a different budget line under temporary assistance. We're partnering with CoveCare. They're also doing the work. There are so many different streams of funding for this purpose that we're just piecing everything together that we can to save people from becoming homeless.
Do we currently have a waiting list?
No,
Okay.
because there are other streams, other means to pay for and help people. It really, as the cases are coming in, we're dealing with them. So we don't keep a wait list.
And do you deal with other non-government organizations and partner with outside organizations to?
Just with CoveCare. And the Women's Resource Center sometimes as well.
Any questions from the committee? Thank you for answering my questions. Anybody from the legislature? Anyone from the public have any questions? Well, thank you for that. And item number 5 is the approval budgetary amendment for social services to adjust state aid levels. Oh, I'm sorry.
To approve, yeah.
It's only my second time as chair. Can I have a second? I'll make the motion.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 5, thank you, Chairman. The approval for budgetary amendment for social services to adjust state aid levels for OEOP, Crime Victim, Office of Educational Opportunity Programs. Sure.
Sure. So as you may recall, we came before you at the end of November, December in regards to the Office of Victim Services contract. They extended it by 1 year from the original award. And we did request and were thankfully honored funding to supplement a county match for one of our contracts to kind of bridge the gap between that original award that was clawed back. So the Office of Victim Services grant contract was approved last month. So this is to bringing the current levels to the grant levels. So there's the ability to spend and there's zero fiscal impact.
And it adds 33,000.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I don't really have any questions on this. Any questions from the committee? Any questions from Chairman Birmingham?
Just sorry, and it'll be brief. We've just had 3 transfers. They all seem to be state grants. Do we have any local monies, county dollars in any of these, or do we act as the administrator for the state on these programs? I mean, they're great programs and they have built-in qualifications and things, but do we devote any local dollars to?
To the OVS?
Yes.
We do.
Okay.
We brought it before you, I think it was in late
Okay.
December, for a $116,000 county match for a contract with the Women's Resource Center for
Okay.
Mental Health Services. So that is the only local contribution to the three that we spoke about this evening.
Okay, and it's a policy decision, I guess we could have, but I wouldn't think any of these state programs that we're passing through would mind if there were local dollars, if we, as a legislature, at some budget point wanted to. Okay, and you certainly wouldn't mind. Okay, okay. Food for thought. Thank you.
Any other legislators? Anyone from the public? Wonderful.
So the CAC did have, we had a 60% increase in service provided in 2025 from 2024. So we had about 10,000 unduplicated units of service out of the CAC. So, and that just encompasses everything that's done out of the CAC. So, in a 60% increase from previous years, large increase. So, we just wanted to make that noted.
Thank you. So I'll make the motion for the budgetary amendment 26A018. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Right now, we can invite up Jennifer Cassidy, our wonderful county historian. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you.
I'm here with good news all around, so
We like
it's a good
your
visit.
good news. Great. So it's item number 6 on the agenda to fund newspaper digitization project utilizing the Greg Amato Trust proceeds.
Yes, so Greg Amato was a cherished volunteer at the historian's office for many, many years. And at the time of his passing, he had asked that donations be made to support the work of the historian's office, along with so many of the other charities that he was involved in. And anyone who knew Greg received one of his many Courier newspaper clippings that he so lovingly photographed and shared with others. So we are committed to continuing the digitization of additional Courier issues in his name. And it would be a fitting tribute to his life well lived. And we're going to share this good news with his family as we move forward. So in a nutshell, this transfer is to put more funding into our special projects, so to make more archives available at what's called news.hrvh.org. That's the website. And we host this in partnership for the Courier Archives with Mayapack Library. And HRVH stands for Hudson River Valley Heritage. It's their historical newspaper collection. It's part of a consortium membership that our office in the county pays for membership with other historical heritage groups throughout the county. And through this partnership, we're able to make these newspaper archives available free of charge to the public, kind of international even. It's used locally and worldwide. So the website provides access of digitized copies of the newspapers, as I mentioned, across the Hudson Valley. Currently, we have the Courier archives available through only up to 1930. And so we have a gap there of many years. And then over the years, the newspaper was published under a couple different titles. It was also the Putnam Democrat, it was the Democratic Courier, and the Courier. So we have issues as early as 1849 online available for the public to search. And there are some gaps up to this 1930 date, and that whole collection equals 3,200 issues of the newspaper, including local history, countywide. So, and that, just of note, there's also the Patterson Weekly News is on this collection of HRVH newspapers from 1901 to 1918 with a couple of gaps here and there. So we're partnering with vendors who digitize the existing microfilm that's in the collection of Mayapack Library, so there's no cost to borrowing those microfilms. And 1 year of microfilm can cost upwards of $1,000, depending on the number of pages on that reel. So this is a good step towards that process. I earmarked money. You may recall that when I came to talk to the legislature about the budget in 2025, one of our projects was going to be committing to digitizing and making some of our materials more accessible to the public. So this is one of those steps towards that goal. Yeah.
Thank you. I love projects like this. We had something similar last night with the Arts Council, had a program that John Cohen bringing back like the Alan Lomax, idea of archiving the Appalachian music and the Americana music.
Oh, nice.
So this kind of thing is really sought after and well used by folks. I love that some of the papers we have in this county, you open it up and it's the first thing I go to is 100 years ago, in Phillipstown, and you get to read. It's so much better than the regular news right now. So funny too, some of it, the stories. And then I think it's used by a lot of people that we don't even know about. I went to an outing at the Chapel Restoration in Cold Spring, and it was an improv night, and these actors just got up, opened up the archives that you're providing, and improv'd it. Just on the spot, opened up the archive of the news that day and put it into
that's
a stage play, like instantly. So very much appreciated to the Amato family, and thank you. And going forward, you obviously are investing your money from your budget into
Yes.
archiving as well. I mean,
Yes.
any idea of how much that costs, how much you'll need? You're probably preparing the 2027 budget for that.
I think we take small bites of the elephant, for sure.
Yeah.
Each year, so we can chip away at a few. I mean, I would love, love, love to get up through 1976 to get us up to the bicentennial with the Courier, but we might be talking many zeros after that. So if we can do this in increments of 5-10 years, that's manageable, and then won't hit the budget too hard. So, but 5-year plan is great too. And then there's other titles out there. There's the Cold Spring News and Recorder, historic newspaper, a couple of different, like Sleepy or Putnam Valley, crossing over into Peekskill newspapers, things like that. So it's a long road. A lot of change going on with newspapers these days too. So important to look out for.
Any questions from the committee? Any questions from Legislator Goldman?
Online publications, that seems to be the future. Are we creating plans to grab that information, or if not,
That's a continued conversation. I've had this conversation in the past with Chip Rowe of the Highland Current, with the Putnam Press Times. We've talked about the digital collections for things like PDF format and how to keep them archival. So that's a conversation moving into the future. And my concern about the Courier and the PCNR is the title now, Putnam County News and Recorder, is their future. And we haven't had a hard copy being collected because we do collect the hard copies. We are going digital. You make a very good point. So being prepared moving forward with records management and the historian's office, that's going to be critical.
yeah, that's the way of the future.
Yeah.
It's, I don't like it, but it's the reality of America right now.
Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out.
What about other online papers?
I'd have to look in to see what other papers or what other mastheads are covering Putnam County news. Everyone's familiar with the Journal News, right? They don't cover. We don't even have a subscription to them anymore. We get the backup copies from Kent Library. They give us their physical copies so we can clip them for our vertical files, because that's the most important part for my office of the newspaper, is to build on this vertical file so that we know what happened in this meeting tonight and then what happened in 2025 and back. So we are clipping, and any topics you guys ever want researched, give us a call, give us an email. We'll pull the file.
Thank you. Any other legislators? Anybody from the public? Well, thank you. Can I have a motion to transfer Budgetary Amendment 26A015 to the county historian?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And you're up next, too.
Yes, the
Number
next one is
7.
good news. It's more good news. It was a sleepy startup because here we are in March 2026, but New York State came down with news just recently that they're willing to share some funding for Rev 250, the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. We were notified that Putnam County will qualify for funding based on our K through 12 enrollment, although the supporting documents you have in your attachment here has an X allocated. My understanding is that it will be upwards of $15,000, which is no chump change. I'm grateful for the opportunity. There is no money coming down from the federal government at this time that I know of, so I'm happy that New York is kind of opening up their purse strings to us. So it's a non-match grant, so it's just as long as we fill out their paperwork needed and dot our I's and cross our T's, it should be funding that we'll be able to share countywide with, and we already have the programs in existence. We have a grant program that we're sharing with each town so that their historical organization or museum gets funding to provide public programming. Programs have to be free to the public, which has been, one of the hallmarks of our programming the past 2 years. And we are already underway, whether we get their money or not. And we're doing some great calendars. Each town has a committee, and they're doing a great job. So this will be money much appreciated and shared.
So all those programs are set, and they're all programs centered around Rev 250.
A lot of them are. It depends on the group that's hosting them. For example, currently, our office, the county historian, kind of representing Revolutionary Putnam County Committee, we have a month-long set of programs going on. Mayapack Library, chosen as the central library for the county so that people can access it from all over. We started last weekend. We have a history exhibit there, and we had a guest speaker talk, and this one's kind of sensational. We have a temporary loan of the Putnam County quilt, which is a history quilt that was made in 1976 by 19 women. And it portrays every town on the quilt and their history. So if you get a chance to come see it, please do. It'll be there all this month. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, my office will be there from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock to greet people. We're going to have an evening program. And the next 3 weekends of the month, we have programming. This weekend on Saturday, we have Todd Braystead coming and talking about loyalists, because they were also part of the story, right? A big part. And then the following 2 weekends, we have concerts, colonial chamber music, and another one, Remember the Ladies, about the women in the Revolution, is the last weekend in March. So please come and visit. And then beyond that, schools, we're involved with the schools as well. National Honor Society at Mayapack High School joined us in the parade on Sunday in Mayapack. They carried our banner, which was great to have them. We are in talks with other school district. We just have an email out to partner with the county clerk to maybe have students host one of the naturalization ceremonies, which is super exciting. And yeah, a lot of opportunities, a lot of interest from the different school districts. And we have our big June event, which is cooperative. All the towns are participating. We'll be at Veterans Memorial Park, the upper park, with a reenactment day, and it's Putnam County Heroes Battle of the Redcoats, and it will have music, storytelling, all free for the public, a battle reenactment. It's going to be, the West Point Band is coming too. The Hellcats are coming to play. So it's a whole year-long programming. So I could keep it all night, but there's a lot of people here. So
I'm glad we kept you full-time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll make the motion. We don't need to, this is just it is actually. Accept the funding. I'll make the motion to accept the funding from the New York State Education Department's New York State 250 Commemoration Commission in support of Revolutionary Putnam County. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you.
So
Thanks,
this is
Jennifer.
step one. I'll see you next time at
Yeah,
the next
when
step of the
when
process.
we get the
So,
money.
All right, thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you. Great, any other business? Well, this concludes the meeting. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Is that right?
Yes.
I don't know if I like being chair.
Good evening, everyone. Calling to order the Protective Services Committee meeting held here tonight on Wednesday, March 11, 2026. Ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Hats are off. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. With that, I'd like to make a motion to go out of order and take other business, item number 7, and bring that up to the next item on our agenda for this evening. Can I have a second on that,
Second.
please? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That being said, I would invite, please, Captain Corinne Pitt to please come forward here for a second, because I'd like to take this opportunity to read the proclamation that I'm going to be giving to you in 1 second. But it's so well written, and your accomplishments are so vast that I want to make sure that this is conveyed properly. Yep, please feel free. Join me up here. Great. They did this so nicely that I want to make sure I convey this all. Whereas March has been declared as Women's History Month by the New York State and Congress of the United States of America, and whereas Women's History Month serves as an opportunity to recognize the unique and important contributions women bring to their professional roles and celebrate both past and present female figures whose leadership, perseverance, and vision have advanced equality and transformed communities. And whereas Putnam County is fortunate to have dedicated female employees who have broken the mold and have made history. In December 2025, Senior Investigator Corinne Pitt did exactly that when she was promoted to Captain of Community Safety and Intelligence Division, becoming the first woman to achieve the rank of captain in the history of the Putnam County Sheriff's Office. Whereas the steadfast public service, professionalism, and commitment to public safety exhibited by Captain Corinne Pitt throughout her extensive career in law enforcement has earned her the utmost respect of her colleagues and neighbors alike. Her hard work, dedication, and expertise is invaluable asset to Putnam County, and her historical promotion to captain is a great source of pride. Now, there be it for resolved that the Putnam County Executive and the Putnam County Legislature commend Captain Corinne Pitt on her impressive accomplishments and diligent service to the residents of Putnam County, exemplifying the efforts that women leaders have on our society as a whole. Signed by our County Executive, Kevin Byrne, and the Chairman of our Legislature, Dan Birmingham. Congratulations, Captain. Well done. Oh, we got a selfie. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
We make a motion to accept the sheriff up to our.
Wow, right? I also have a certificate of recognition for Corinne Pitt from the governor. Fancy. And I'll read, upon your promotion to captain of the Putnam County Sheriff's Office, your steadfast leadership and bravery in the face of challenges have earned you the respect of your colleagues and neighbors. As the first woman to serve in this role in this agency's history, your accomplishments signify progress towards gender equality in law enforcement. The state of New York is grateful for your commitment to public safety.
Thank you very much. I do have just a few words.
Absolutely. Please feel free.
All right. Bear with me, I just have a few words, please. Those who work for a sheriff know that this is not just a job, but a vocation. I'm honored to have had the opportunities and community connections throughout my career that have ultimately brought me here before you this evening. I'd also like to recognize that these opportunities were acknowledged and extended to me over my years through the support and recognition of my male colleagues. Their willingness to recognize my work, respect my contributions, and treat me as a valued member of the team play the vital role in the path that led me here today. In this profession, progress is never achieved alone. We know that value-based teams are the ones that stand the test of time, and that is exactly what I see in this room tonight. I recently heard Duke basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski speak about teamwork. He states that the organizations that succeed are the ones built on strong culture and shared values. He identifies core team values as
communication, trust, care, collective responsibility, and pride. Those are not just words that apply to athletic teams. They apply to the county that together we serve as a whole. In addition to the opportunities, teamwork, and community connections, I take true joy in watching my partners at the Sheriff's Office succeed and grow along their career paths, for each of them possess traits that I've long admired and wish I had myself. Thank you to the legislative body of Putnam County. Thank you for Governor Kathy Hochul. Thank you to Sheriff Anderson of the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Smith, Sheriff Langley, Sheriff McConville, and now Sheriff Hess and Under Sheriff Menton. I'm grateful for this recognition, but even more grateful to be part of a team with partners who strive to adhere to those highlighted values daily on behalf of the constituents of Putnam County and the Office of the Sheriff. Thank you.
Can we get everyone, all the legislators? Do we mind?
No, it's great.
And then the staff of
everybody
the
in the
sheriff's office,
room.
can you guys come up also, please?
And the family.
If we could all fit.
Thank you.
I'm sure she would.
Thank you.
Pick up the proclamation thing.
You're tall, right?
Yeah, I'm good, I'm right above you.
Pick them up, hold them up.
Everybody. Yes?
Hold it up for the camera.
Good.
Sheriff.
Thank you for this. I mean, I kind of like it better here than at that big, yeah. Thanks, everybody, for coming out.
When did I get taller than you? I got 4 inches on today.
That'll do it.
Mike, we look good, make sure we all look
Yeah,
good.
how's the hair? Wait, let me get some lipstick. It's so quiet. Can't breathe. Got it?
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
It was a surprise.
That's you.
Okay.
Thank you. Do we go out?
Can I say something before everybody leaves?
Yeah.
I just want to say congratulations, Captain Pitt. Thanks for paving the way for women and being a mentor to not only the deputy sheriffs in Putnam County, but women throughout Putnam, and the state. Thank you. I've watched you for probably your whole career, and I really appreciate you breaking the mold in Putnam County and being our mentor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
As we conclude other business, right back on. As we conclude other business, that was certainly unusual, but I think warranted for the occasion. So glad it worked out on plan like that.
Thank you.
Any other business under?
Other?
Any-
Other.
Yep, right, we just took that, right, okay. So, moving on to item number 2, we'll do a roll call, sorry.
Present.
Here.
Present. Item number 3, I have a budgetary amendment, 26A017, from the Probation Department, Ignition Interlock Grant Award.
Hello.
Hello, how are you, sir?
Good, how are you doing?
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. The state wants to give us money.
Yay.
We'll take it.
Great, then I'm done.
That's right.
It's all good.
The state has been doing an Ignition Interlock grant to different localities for several years, and they offered it to Putnam County this year. So I've already had a meeting with law enforcement in Carmel, Kent, and the Sheriff's Department, obviously, to try to bring this together, and everybody's in, they want to participate, and so we'd like to have permission from the legislature to accept this $35,000 grant.
So, reading the information that was forwarded to us ahead of time, it does seem particularly restrictive about the overtime, right? And is this something that you've done before and followed those parameters? Is this something new? Is this a new program?
This is a new program for
Okay.
us, but it's not unlike the high visibility engagement events that the Stop DWI program does with local law enforcement. We send out extra DWI patrols at certain times during the year. So there's kind of a precedent for this in the county was sharing services and particularly paying overtime to have extra services out there.
Great, okay.
So what's going to be different about this is targeting events to get people who are supposed to have an ignition interlock device in their car and don't, to find them and to hold them accountable for that.
Oh, okay, all right. So when I read the information, it was more about the directive towards your people and what they have to do to qualify for these classes, but that's the target. Okay, thank you so much. Any other questions
No,
from the committee?
I just wanted the public to be aware of what this actually is. This is for DWI cases, and this is actually ignition interlock. And how does that work, if you could just explain to the public?
So every person who is convicted of a DWI in New York State is required to have an ignition interlock device installed on their vehicle. So that means whether or not they go to jail or any other sentence, the judge must impose conditions for them to have an ignition interlock device in their car. They do that either through a condition of probation or through a conditional discharge, both of which are monitored by my office. Currently, we have 182 exactly right now today, except for one came in, I think, before I left. So now it's 183. But at any given time, it's about 175 to 200 ignition interlock orders at any given time in Putnam County. Of those, about a third actually install devices on their cars. And there's some good reason for that. A lot of people who are placed on probation have an additional condition for at least the first year or two that says they can't drive and they can't have a license. So it doesn't make sense for them to keep a car. And so they often will sell it or give it to a family member and provide proof that that's been done. And then they don't have to have a device installed. But we believe that some of those people are probably still driving some other car, maybe that another family member has, or that they've gotten some other way. This event is to try to target those people and make sure that they are held accountable.
Great, excellent. Any other questions from our committee?
No, it's all answered.
Any questions from our other legislators? Congress. Legislator Crowley, recognized.
Yeah, I don't have a beard. Not yet. So thank you, number one. This is a breathalyzer that is installed in the car to make sure that they're being safe when they're driving, so we appreciate that. Along with that, fees being collected, is this a part of that? Are we getting the fees that are collected along with the breathalyzer they're required to pay? Because that is a very important part that I don't want to not see observed by the county.
We continue to collect fees on DWI cases, yes. The ignition interlock devices are paid for by the defendants. They are not paid for by the county. So what we do is we provide the individual with a number of different vendors that they can go to. They can go to the vendor of their choice as long as the vendor is one that is recognized by the state. They sign a contract with that vendor to put the device in the car. They pay for it.
And what happens, through the chair, what happens if they're not paying their monthly fees? And I'm assuming you're on probation most of the time with this. Again, as you said, they don't have a license, if it's didn't blow or something like that. Using family members' cars, selling all the things, but like, if they don't pay monthly, is that subscription turned off and then they just accrue fees and it's still successful?
Right.
Who absorbs those fees, that person?
If they don't pay, the company will basically sue them.
Perfect, okay,
so-
that's all I wanna.
But if they don't pay and the company were to take their device off or to
Disable?
disable it, I mean, then what we would do is we would send them back to court in a violation of probation. But honestly, that rarely happens. The cost of the device is frankly quite manageable. And there's also a provision in the law that allows the court to waive a certain number of the fees.
Will it go to a judgment?
Yes, the judge, they fill out paperwork and the judge decides whether or not they can afford the fee. In Putnam County, most of our judges are saying they can afford it,
Okay.
and most do.
And what is the timeframe for them to install said device, and is their license revoked until, thank you, Chair. Is it their license revoked or then suspended until that is then taken care of and inspected to make sure it's done?
So, a lot of times they'll walk out of court without a driver's license. It would have been taken by the court, and so they can't drive, so that's a non-issue. For those who still have a driver's license, they have 10 days in which to install the device. However, the ignition interlock restriction goes on their license more or less immediately, as quickly as as the court gets it up to the state, goes on their license, and they can't drive until they have a device in their car. If they do, they can be charged with circumventing the ignition interlock device.
It's left up to them and to be responsible and do the right thing.
The probation department does a pretty good job of following up and making sure that they do that. Yeah, we make sure that it gets done.
Thank you
Whether
so
it's a conditional discharge or a probation case, we make sure that it gets done. If it doesn't, then they go back to court.
Perfect. Thank you so much for all the information. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any inquiries or input from the public? That being said, we have the one approval on our agenda for tonight, so I'll make a motion to approve Budgetary Amendment 26A 017. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Director.
Thank you. Have a good
Next
night.
item is item number 4. We have an FYI for a fund transfer 26T043 for the Sheriff's Office. Correct clerical error to appropriate a budget line. Item number 4. We have a zero fiscal impact on a clerical error.
Correct. I believe the money was just added to the wrong line. It's a grant line. They put it on the building maintenance section.
Okay.
So I don't think building maintenance is one of the allowable expenditures. So we're just looking to correct that clerical error.
Thank you. Okay. Any questions?
Nope.
Nothing. Any questions from any of the other legislators? No? Any input or questions from the public? Thank you. So that's an FYI. Thank you, Sheriff. The next item, item number 5, is also an FYI, a fund transfer, 26T040 Emergency Services, replace 2 screens on the 911 dispatch center video wall. Good evening. How are you, sir?
How are you?
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen. So we're looking to transfer money from our other equipment line of $10,000 into audiovisual of over $5,000 and $6,000 from our automotive line to audiovisual over $5,000. And that is to purchase replacement screens for 2 monitors on the video wall at the 911 center that are broken and not functioning. The source of that money will be from the SHIP 22 grant, so it will be no additional cost to the county for that.
Okay. Seems reasonable. Any other questions?
Just about how long do these things last?
So they're on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They are robust monitors, so they do have an anticipated life of 2 to 3 years. So some of them that are in existence there now are coming to the end of that expected lifespan. So they are fairly expensive to replace, but they are essential equipment for the 911 center to do their job properly.
And you need quite a few, sorry, through the chair.
So the video wall consists of 6 monitors, in addition to other monitors and screens, obviously, that are in place throughout the 911 center.
I'm just
but they do-
thinking replacement schedule like we have with fire departments and fire trucks. I know this is not a vehicle.
Yeah, so it's hard to say when those monitors are gonna need to be replaced, because we don't know if they're gonna last 3 years, 4 years, 2 years. We hope to get longer out of them, but
Used a lot.
yeah, they're expensive because of the need to be on 24 hours a day. And they also work with something called our Crestron device, so that kind of controls the room in 911. So the supervisor can determine what information is up on what screens in that video wall at any given time. So it becomes a little more involved than just having a monitor up on the wall with one computer attached to it, for example.
Very essential. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions from, any other questions from the legislature? No? Any questions or input from the public? Thank you very much. Okay, so that's an FYI, which will lead us to our next FYI, which is funds transfer 26T046 Emergency Services 911 Backup Center at the Sheriff's Office. So item number 6.
So this fund transfer is a move from our rescue equipment line into our audiovisual equipment line of under $5,000, and that is intended for purchases to upgrade and replace broken or damaged equipment at the backup 911 center, which is located at the Putnam County Sheriff's Office.
Any questions from the committee members?
Just a question. Can the sheriff's center operate at full dispatch capacity if the primary center goes down?
It has the capabilities of doing the same functions, but it can't handle the number of dispatchers that we currently have on duty at the 911 center. So for example, if we have 5 dispatchers that typically work a shift at the 911 center, there's only 3 consoles that are operational at the sheriff's office. So there are plans moving forward to find a possible alternative location that would be able to accept the full contingent of dispatchers should that situation arise.
We'd welcome that on the west side of the county.
You have a location
I
in
do.
mind?
I have a couple.
All right, I would like to correct myself here, and I apologize. I want to call out myself for something that I've asked my colleagues, which was I should have welcomed and announced that this is the Commissioner of Emergency Services, Jim Oster, up here at the table. And I'm calling out myself. I've meant to do that and ask that all of us, I know, I did, because I said, welcome, Jim, but
told you, I'm sorry.
to correct it.
Yes.
Do over.
Well, he accounted for it.
Start over.
We're not going to start over because I did welcome the commissioner. Chair recognizes
Legislature.
Senator Crowley.
Thank you, Chair. I appreciate it. I just have a couple questions.
Sure.
So, we switched over from the 9/11 center in the sheriff's department and went completely over to BES back during Sheriff McConville. That happened. There was some overlap with the sheriff's department working with the 9/11 dispatchers. And it was meant for when a CAD system goes down or we go to fail soft, or something like that, that it bounces back to individuals. So who takes over when, who's going to be manning those stations at the sheriff's department when, if you need it in communications because it hasn't been used in very long?
I'm not sure if the right word is point of order here. I'm not sure that we want to discuss our backup operational plans
It's not-
outside of
it's not
executive
a-
session.
it's not
We're
a-
talking about emergency situations and then the fallback. I'm not sure this has to do with the budgetary transfer, and I'm gonna
That's,
I'm gonna seek to redirect the question.
I mean, it isn't directly related to the budgetary transfer, but I also, I mean, I think it's something that's been discussed in the public record before, so I don't necessarily think it, but, you know, the chair of the committee, you can recognize who you choose to recognize.
I'm hesitant for us to, right, to discuss outside of executive session our backup emergency plans. But, all right, proceed.
It's a fair comment for, basis for executive session. If you want to discuss it in an executive session, that's a permissible basis because it goes to public safety, so.
So the question was related to the expenditure of the equipment in as much as how much it's
No.
appropriate?
So
Right.
there were 2 parts to it. It was number 1, who mans the station at the communications, because communications has not been manned for, and I'm gonna ask through, yes, the sheriff's department. It has not been manned in years since Sheriff McConville, and it moved
Manned
over
by
to the
dispatch.
911 center. So it is there as a backup for our new CAD system and our new radio trunking system, correct? If it goes into fail-soft or goes into a full shutdown mode. That's not a procedural question or a, public safety issue. This is procedurally put out there. But I just wanna know, who would man that from the sheriff's department? Or would 911 come over there? And 2, when was the last time it was manned, and is this all the appropriate materials we would need to make sure it's functional?
So can I answer?
I believe based on what council has said, yes.
Okay, so the short answer is the dispatchers from the 911 center would relocate to the sheriff's office to man those stations so that we could function just as we do now. Fail-soft is a little bit different. Fail-soft, we can still operate in the 911 center. It's just a different technology. Yeah, it reverts to a different set of technology systems so that we can operate differently, but still from the 911 center.
When it shuts down altogether is what it was made for.
So if the 911 center shuts down completely, we lose connectivity or functionality for some reason, we would relocate our dispatchers to the sheriff's department. They have the 911 the backup 911 center already established there, and we do frequently, once a month-ish, send people over to make sure that that equipment is operational and would meet our needs in the event that we have to do that.
Thank you, that's all I was asking, just to make sure we're up to date and we have a backup plan and that we have a plan, because I don't think it's been talked about for a long time, so thank you so much.
Chair recognizes the sheriff.
If I could just jump in, just because Commissioner Oster did this for me on my request. That room was pretty much, as you know, defunct. It was sitting there with, no one was using it, including people who walked in from the public. So part of this was to reinvigorate that room and bring it up to speed with what the 911 center has, and we're going to use it for alternate purposes while they're not using it for backup. So it's kind of to rebuild the room at the same time, because it was sitting there with cobwebs, yes. Well, that's why I felt, I don't want to leave him on the lurch.
The chair, I know it's been sitting there for a long time without it being used and kind of just left, so I just wanted to ask, has it been tested, and what is the, not
We're gonna bring it up to
specific
speed.
protocol, and I appreciate that, so, and I think it's good for the public to know that we have that, there is a plan. I think it's too specific. Thank you.
Want me to bring it home?
Any other comments or questions pertaining to the budget transfer? From other legislatures? Anybody from the public? Did you have
No.
something you want to add?
Nope, just-
Okay.
no.
All right, so that is the other FYI on the fund transfer. Thank you very much. And we did other business first, but I will recognize at least any other business that's not related to the proclamation that we had earlier today. Any other business to be recognized?
Well, just back to the proclamation, I'm just really happy we did that. Thank you for bringing that to us, and happy Women's
Thank
History
you
Month.
for doing that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I do.
Thanks so
It's a
much.
nice surprise.
Yes.
All right, other than that, we have a motion to adjourn. So I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Welcome to Personnel Committee, March 11, 2026. Please stand for the pledge. Legislator Russo, can you please lead us?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's like a high chair. Jump up.
Okay. Roll call?
Legislator Russo,
Present.
Legislator Sage, Chairwoman Advisio.
Present. Moving on to number 3 is the approval for budgetary amendment 26A012. This is Department of Social Services, and you're back up here this evening. Welcome. And we have Sarah Servadio, Commissioner, and Kristen Warner. And we want your exact title?
Fiscal manager.
Thank you. Fiscal Manager, okay. So we have before us a zero fiscal impact and the amount of $19,653, and it shows the breakdown here of different items that are needed
Yes, that's
in the budgetary amendment.
So this is similar to the grant that we just spoke about at the Health Committee. This is the other main funding stream for the CAC through the Office of Children and Family Services. And this is going to bring us through to 2030. So this is an annualized amount.
Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Is there anything you want to add to that, or?
Nope.
It's not much money.
We put some funding, a lot of the personnel services is already included through the budget process.
Right.
So this is a lot of the more, for lack of a better word, ad hoc items
Right, a little
that are
extra.
approved in the grant.
Right. Okay.
Tommy, is that
Any questions, comments from the committee? Any other legislators? Any questions or comments? No? Anybody from the public? Okay. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to number 4 is the approval for another fund transfer. This is in the amount of $2,527, zero fiscal impact. And can you just quickly explain that?
Sure. So this is a request, our current Director of Eligibility has just retired after a very long time, almost 25 years of service. So this is to bring one of our current employees up to that level while we're waiting for the line to vacate due to vacation accruals and that sort of.
It's paid differential.
This is a
Okay.
pay
Right.
differential,
Okay.
yes, to bring her to that level.
Very straightforward. Any comments? Any legislators? Public? Okay, I make a motion to approve transfer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Okay, thank you very much. Have a
Thank
great
you.
night.
Good night.
Moving on to number 5, we have another transfer from the sheriff's office. We'd like to welcome our sheriff. How are you? Good to be back. So this is a budgetary transfer, 26T044. This is to allocate an administrative position from BCI to the civil.
Correct. So this position always lived in civil and administrative section, but it was listed on the budget under BCI. So we're just trying to correct all these little nuances that were kind of left over from the past and make sure we're 100% on for the future.
Just so everyone knows, zero fiscal impact on this
Correct,
also.
yes.
Okay, any questions or comments? Any legislators, questions or comments? Public? Okay, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
We also, okay, that's good. I think you're done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a great
Good
night.
night.
Moving on to number 6 is a transfer from Public Works. And we have Chris Rufin here this evening. And this is,
Everybody, you're stuck with me tonight.
you're the last
Way
one.
down the list over
You're
there
the last one
somewhere.
here.
Bringing it home.
So this is just a change of title and reclass position from senior account clerk to principal account clerk. And that's also zero fiscal impact. Right?
It is an increase in salary.
Okay, it says
It's-
zero here,
Because there's a title, it's a title change to a higher title.
right?
I guess my understanding is that she has put the form, I don't know what it is, 222 or whatever it is, the personnel department with her job description and the work that she's doing is classified as a higher position than what she's currently titled at.
Okay.
I think it's about $4,000 more. That's my
Yeah.
understanding.
Right, 4326 to be exact. Okay.
I have a personal interest in this, as this is actually a Parks employee, and she's fantastic, so,
Okay, you better keep her there.
yeah, I'm trying hard. There's
Okay.
other departments that are trying to.
Oh.
They're trying to steal her away? Okay, any questions or comments? Any other legislators? Questions, comments, public? Okay, thank you. Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for your work, Chris.
Thank you.
Make a motion. Thank you, Chris. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. And number 7 is an FYI. This is accident report, confidential. And number 8 is also confidential incident report. Moving on to number 9 is other business. Seeing there's no other business, I make a motion to adjourn. So,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.